So now we'll do slaps, all right? Previously we talked about our bass sound, generating the sound, starting with the shape of the hands, bringing it out for the tones, separate the hands a little bit, maintaining that knuckle line over the wood of the drum, or this nice meaty part. And this is also where we generate slaps. And you'll see slap technique taught a few different ways, and you will even see it in a few different positions on the drum. Try this out if you haven't already. I like to keep it in the same place as we are for tones. So you have your tones and slaps. Sometimes you hear, okay, ouch, all right? Tones, slaps, same place. All right, so how does that happen? Too quick for the naked eye, what's happening in slow motion on a slap is with the tone, we have our hands flat on the drum. Okay, our fingers flat on the drum. We have a flat hand, flat plane, like before we discussed with the tone note. But with a slap, we change the position a little bit, or the angle of the hand. All right, so we still maintain a flat hand, and it pivots at this knuckle line on the wood, underneath the skin. We drop the wrist and raise the fingers. So the hand's still flat. Tone, slap. Those are the two positions. Again, and maybe I didn't point out last time, keep the thumbs back so they don't get hurt. And what happens with the slap is, same basic motion with everything else, okay? With the tone, we start here, we come up, we come down, and we land flat fingered on the drum. With the slap, we start here, so there's about an inch of clearance between my fingertips and the skin. We come up, we come down, and we land with an inch of clearance. All right? How's that going to make a sound? Well, if we keep our hand stiff, if we keep this nice and tight and the what feels like the back of the hand tense, nothing happens. We just get that. And that's what I want you to start with. I want you to just start practicing keeping this geometry here. Just making a thud on the drum. And leaving it there. Plant it. Now this isn't what you do to actually play. This is a learning technique. Practice technique. Plant it. What's going to happen when we actually release that tension a little bit, little by little, is the hand's going to come down, and because of the inertia, the fingertips are going to continue the motion and touch the drum and then spring back up. You are not going to do that on your own. You're not going to put your fingers down. Inertia is going to put your fingers down. You are trying to keep them off the drum, but not quite enough. So as you play, and you slowly relax the back of the hand, you see them start to move? We'll do a little slow-mo and catch that. Okay, now they're just starting to kiss the drum. Cool, there's, okay? And I'm relaxed everywhere else. Maintain that space. Maintain the angle of the hand. And then relax the back of the hand a little bit more. So you get that sweet spot. So, slap, tone, slap, tone. Now, come off the drum, come off the drum. All right, so do the same thing with the other side. Just practice that thud. Start off with your tone position, angle the hand, Keep everything else here the same, nice and relaxed up here. Come on up, drop it down. Now, fingertips touch a little bit there. Didn't have quite enough tension in the back of the hand. Bring it up. Oh, there we go. And you can even, if you can, a lot of people have difficulty with this. If you bring it up, all right, and just, okay, and I'm taking the weight of my hand in my other hand, and then I let it drop. Okay, you see a lot of this happen when you do it with your students. You pick their hand up and you let it go, and it's like, oh, then they drop it down. All right, try to let gravity participate in the process. So again, practice that thud with the offhand. Slowly relax the back of the hand. Kiss. And I'm not hitting the drum hard. I'm just letting it drop down. A little more. You can play around with the space in between the fingers. You know, ideally if you can keep them gently but together, fine, but I get a little bit of space in there for my slaps. That's how I get the right relaxation in the back of my hand. There we go. And you'll find when you sit down at your drum or a strange drum, like somebody else's drum or whatever, you don't always get those sounds happening right away. You have to figure it out and adapt to the tension of that head, the size of the drum, all kinds of factors. The thickness of the head makes a big difference. Some drums are set up there where it's really easy to overplay them. You're wailing on the drum, you're getting nothing out of it. And all of a sudden you just back off and like, whoa, there it is. There's the drum's voice. So you have to work with the instrument as well. So same thing as the drill we did with the tones is you start off with one side at a time. This time I'm going to start with my off side, my left hand, I'm right-handed. And I'm going to work on just getting that thud for a little while. Nice steady tempo. Work with a click if you want to. But at this point you're working more on just focusing on the technique. Don't worry about time too much. And then kiss. A little bit of relaxation. And a little bit more. I'm relaxing the muscles a little bit more. There we go. Okay? Now that's your basic slap. There are other harmonics you can get out of this instrument. All right? I am generating at this point in my playing some of those harmonics more randomly than intentionally. If you want to see how that's done in a masterful way, look at Dr. Joe B, Mama Dikita, my friend Mohammed Diaby is just, oh, I just love listening to that guy play. He'll get a fifth out of his drum. There can be 40 drummers in the room and he won't be playing hard, but that note will sing out over all of the other musicians in the room just by virtue of its purity. It's just amazing. But work on the one side, work on the other side, get that feedback, 8 strokes a side. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, maintain the position as opposed to this. Get used to good habits. You can leave some of them on the drum. When you get used to that, bring it off. Four. Twos. and then alternate stroke. Eventually, try to get smooth action happening between the strokes, as opposed to that. 3, 2, 1. Okay? Now, again, once you've got a consistent sound happening with those exercises, take it up a notch, tempo-wise, 5-10 beats per minute, and go up in those increments, all right? So we're going to talk about working with the metronome next and how to use it effectively with your practice regimen, okay? Very good.